We're gonna scare the hell
All right,
out of
everybody.
you.
We are live at Frightmare HQ. My name is Loyd Cryer, and I'm here with
Lloyd
the
Cryer.
always amazing Charles Dews. What are you doing, Charles?
It's me. I'm Charles. Charles in charge of our days and our nights.
You are in charge. You are large and in charge.
Emphasis on the large, man. I'm so large I cry.
What have you been up to lately? Anything?
No, not really. Just kind of hanging out, waiting for you. I missed you. I haven't seen you in like 4 to 5 days. Something like that.
I know it's rough, isn't it?
So rough, man. Sometimes I weep at night. I weep thinking about what could be when we're on the air together.
I like your new backdrop, dude. That's cool.
I got a new one. I got a new one today. I figured I'd change it up, you know? Just be a little saucy.
You are so saucy, Charles.
Dance, too.
I'm kind of excited.
A freaking dance machine.
I know.
Ooh.
I'm kind of excited about
1974 is a pretty good year.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
Pretty good year.
It really was.
I'm pretty excited, too. I think one thing that's going to be pretty clear is that 1973, The Exorcist was really popular because that's what everybody tried to do in 1974.
That's what I was going to bring up. It definitely seems like it was such a huge hit that everybody started making Exorcist ripoffs. And, of course...
Hell yeah.
After they did that, that went on for a few years, is what I was trying to get at.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. You know, that was the trend. Everybody jumped on that bandwagon, you know?
Yep. They absolutely did. And we have a few of those tonight. We don't start out with one.
Quite a few, actually.
We start out actually tonight with a Dracula flick. Continuing
one
the
of
70s.
the best Dracula movies.
One of the best. One of the best.
One of the best. That's not even a joke. It's just so fantastic for one reason only.
And we are going to reveal that reason very soon.
Very soon, but not yet. Not yet. Who's on, though? Anybody actually join us today, or is it just us today?
Argento fan is watching. Let's see. There's
Charles here. Thanks, Argento.
Yeah, there's quite a few over on YouTube as well. We've got Travis Brown, Todd Lewis, David Davis,
Hey, Travis.
Michelle S.
What's up, Todd, David, Michelle? What's up, everybody?
Bob White, Eduardo Gonzalez.
No relation to Carrie White.
That's right. Bad Boy.
Eduardo.
Yeah, Bad Boy 98761. JRE is with us. I think.
JRE, what's up?
Yeah, we got Stephen Burt is here with us tonight.
Steven, Chrissy's here.
Jeff Evans, Chrissy Gilliland, Tyler Burrows.
What's up, Tyler?
Lots of folks. Scooby, Bad Boy 98761 is Scooby from Twitch, he says.
What's up, Scooby?
So
What is up, Scooby-Dooby-Doo?
The gang's about all here. We're glad to see y'all. Thanks for joining us. I've been looking forward to this episode for a few days now, especially when Charles got me the list of what we were doing, because it's a good list. 1974, I'm going to go ahead and call it now. I think it was a good year.
It's a good year. I'm going to go ahead and say it, too. It's a pretty good year. Pretty good year. Anytime I struggle to whittle down a list, it's got to be a good year, you know?
Yeah. And you had a good list going, and then you had some stuff, and then I went through and picked a few of my favorites that I like. And, got those on there.
That's how we do it.
That's how we do it. So we have, 19 flicks in the main list tonight, right?
Yeah, 19, I believe. We'll go with 19. That sounds about right.
Yeah, let's just go with it. 19. That's a good number.
Just go with it. 19. That's a good number. We're going to say it's anywhere between like 1 and like 63.
There you
go. All right. So you guys are in for a surprise.
You are in for a surprise.
We never know how long the show is going to be, guys. We don't plan time. We just roll with it.
That's the best way to do it. Me You Fools is here. Twitch Nate 81 joined us. So we got a full house
Twitch
tonight.
Nate. Man, we got a full house, man. We got Jesse and the Rippers. We got Danny Tanner. And we got everybody here.
Jesse and the Rippers.
That's all I have to say about that.
Okay. You're done
That's all
saying.
I just work here, all right? It's my first day. I wasn't trained properly, all right?
Right.
Jesus.
Right.
I didn't read the handbook. I didn't read the manual, okay? I don't know what these buttons do.
What do these buttons do, Charles?
I don't know. I'm afraid to touch them. There's all these buttons. I don't know what they do.
I also see Skidoo 99 and Let's Do This
Skidoo.
Streamers and HorrorCon Gal is with us. So we have some.
What's up, HorrorCon Gal?
Yeah, what's up? We have some new viewers with us tonight. So welcome aboard. We promise that you're going to have so much fun that your head is going to explode.
Yeah, we'll go with that. Or maybe it'll turn around on its axis and laugh. One of those two. But something weird's going to happen to you. You'll never be the same after tonight.
Turn around.
Never be the same. Because we're going to scare the hell out of you.
We're going to scare the hell out of you. Let me play that. If it'll let me play it. I don't know if it's going to let me play it. Because I've got all kinds of things going on. Oh. Okay, it's not going to let me play it. So that's all right.
Whoa. Screw it. Well, just do it. Let's just go.
Do it live.
We're going to scare the hell out of you.
Do it live, Lloyd.
All right,
Lloyd
so
Cryer.
let's go ahead and kick it off.
Lloyd Cryer.
What do you say, Charles? You want to kick off the first
title?
What
do you got?
First title in tonight's 1974, The Year in Horror. Count Dracula arrives in Italy to feast upon the blood of virgins, only to find difficulty with this due to the lack of available Italian virgins. Released March 1st, 1974 in West Germany. It is Blood for Dracula, written and directed by Paul Morrissey and starring Udo Kier and Joe D'Alessandro.
I don't care. It's the best Dracula movie ever made. I don't care. Put it out there. The blood of these holes are killing me. The blood of these holes are killing me. I cannot. I need to feast.
Will we be able to
I need to feast
tonight? All they have is regular food.
All they have is regular food. I cannot eat this. I need the virgin.
Fantastic.
If you watch Blood for Dracula, Udo Kier is not acting. That is Udo Kier in real life. That is his personality to a T. That is Udo Kier. I don't care. Can you find me a virgin, Charles, please? I'm so hungry.
Unfortunately, this movie is hard to find if you don't have a copy. It's not that easy to find because apparently D'Alessandro just doesn't care anymore. And he's not licensing this movie to anybody.
That's a good way to sum it up. Yeah. There is a Criterion version on DVD that looks okay, but not the best. Mm-hmm. And it's still a lot of money. I mean, they're like $125 to even get one. So I've never actually watched a good version of this. I've watched it like a dozen times, and every time I watch it, it looks like it went through the washing machine one more time or something. Yeah. It's always a worse and worse copy that ends up to me.
Yeah.
Pretty soon it's going to look like one of those 1995, pay-per-view channels when you try to watch it with the squiggly lines. That's what it's going to look like eventually.
Yeah.
So I'm ready for it. But I love Udo Kier. Udo Kier is great in this.
I love this movie. I wish it was more readily available. I wish somebody would put it out on Blu-ray 3D, actual 3D, because I would love to see this movie in this 3D format.
I would come over and watch it with you in 3D, Lloyd. That's about it.
You can come over and watch it if anybody ever releases it. In fact, I'll go this far.
Can I hold your hand?
I was going to say I'll go this far. I don't think it's ever getting released, so if it does, everybody watching tonight can come over to my house and watch it. How's that sound?
Well, sure, Loyd.
That sounds like a challenge.
It'd be a scavenger hunt.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll get it released. Watch. I'm gonna call D'Alessandro and get it released.
There you go. Well, we do have a pretty cool trailer for this, so let's watch the trailer, Charles.
Oh yeah. Please put it on. I'm gonna play the trailer, please.
After Andy Warhol's Frankenstein comes...
May I introduce Count Dracula?
Andy Warhol's Dracula.
Let me out tonight. No, not tonight. But I don't have the food I eat. They only have chicken, vegetables I've never seen before. I'm sure they have no virgin meat. It must be tonight. The girls are beautiful. They look so pure. But how can we get at them?
You have no attraction!
How old are you? Little girl? You don't know what boys do with little girls?
No.
Your sister never told you?
You would be too embarrassed.
You are a virgin?
Yes.
You're telling me the truth?
Yes.
I believe you.
What are those marks? The kiss of Count Dracula.
Dracula, 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 Dracula.
My body can't take this treatment anymore.
After Andy Warhol's Frankenstein, here is Andy Warhol's Dracula.
Okay. I'm waiting. There it goes. So, yeah. They don't have this food I need.
I'm pretty sure that trailer...
Chicken, vegetables, food I've never seen before.
Vegetables. I'm pretty sure that trailer is the best copy of that movie I've ever seen. Somebody restored the trailer, but not the movie. That's kind of what happened.
Me You Fools said that Showtime was airing nice-looking scope masters of this and Frankenstein back in the 2000s.
Oh. Oh, crap.
Maybe somebody will air them again. Who knows?
I don't know. That trailer, though, just brings back memories of hanging out with Udo Kier. That's pretty much hanging out with Udo Kier for a couple days. It's just like that. Yep. It's just him running around, just yelling things at you all the time. Charles, I just need to come over and help me, please. I need the virgins.
He is the best,
I still, Loyd, I keep saying I really want him on the show, and I want him on the show the whole time in character as Count Dracula. No, not Udo, just Count Dracula the whole time.
It's the same guy, so, you know. We could just pretend. We'll call him Dracula the whole show.
Dracula. He would love it. He'd be like, yes, it is me, Dracula, the real Dracula. Very famous Dracula.
Oh, boy.
He's so famous. It's me, I'm Dracula. I drink at the virgins all the time because I Udo.
They have my food.
Right. Hey, all they have is the chicken. I need the virgin. Are you sure you're a virgin? Are you sure, Loyd? Your sister never taught you about anything, Loyd? You're a virgin. I believe you, Loyd. I believe you.
Are you lying to me? You're lying. You're not the virgin.
You're not the virgin. We got to move on because I'll sit here doing the whole time.
Yeah. Well, the next one is a good one to move to. I like this movie.
Yeah, so loosely based on the case of Ed Gein, an unhinged farmer obsessed with the corpse of his domineering mother kills and collects bodies in order to keep her company in the house that they share together. Released March 20th, 1974, it's the Canadian-American film Deranged, directed by Alan Ormsby and Jeff Gillen, also known as Deranged Confessions of a Necrophile. All right, Lloyd. Deranged.
So they
the title fits the movie. It's a pretty twisted movie.
It is a twisted movie. It is loosely based on the case of Ed Gein, but it also, if you watch, I'm trying to think, like Ed Gein, the Ed Gein movie with the guy that played Charles Manson, they're basically the same movie, you know.
Yeah.
In this one, they do not call him Ed Gein; they call him Ezra Cobb. And it's, you know, it's pretty close to, you know, the story of Ed Gein. It doesn't stray too far. I mean, there are some embellished parts and whatever, but this is a cool flick, and it was hard to find for a long time.
Yeah. I mean, I agree. And of course, you know, Roberts Blossom is awesome in it.
Yes.
He was always a great actor, but super awesome Ezra Cobb in this. I mean, that's one of his best performances. I mean, we all know him as Old Man Marley in Home Alone.
Yeah, he said Eduardo Gonzalez as the main guy was in Home Alone.
Yeah, he was Old Man Marley with the shovel.
Yep.
George LeBay, Christine. Robert Blossom was in a lot. You know, he was in Close Encounters of the Third Kind, Last Temptation of Christ, Escape from Alcatraz. Really fantastic actor. They got very few starring roles, and he's really great in this movie.
He is really good, and a lot of people are bringing up, yes, this is what Texas Chainsaw Massacre was partly based on. It's also the case of Ed Gein. It's also what Psycho is based on in part. And then Buffalo Bill from Silence of the Lambs is partly based
don't get me
on
started.
Ed Gein. Yeah. Boom.
I'll have to put on Goodbye Horses.
Boom. 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 Boom.
Hi, Lloyd. Would you make love to me, Lloyd? Would you make love to me hard?
I'd fuck you hard.
You would, wouldn't you? Would you want the lotion on my skin? You wouldn't even get the hose if you did it.
The lotion on his skin. Hey, is that? Oh yeah, I remember. Is she a big old fat girl?
Big old fat girl. Yeah, she was a large woman. Yes.
Yeah, she was a large woman. Yeah, she was a large woman.
So, one thing I love is one of the directors in this, Jeff Gillen, had a lot of bit parts in Bob Clark's movie, and he was actually the Santa Claus in A Christmas Story. So, whenever you see Ralphie go to Higsby department store and Santa's like, "You'll shoot your eye out, kid." That was Jeff Gillen. That's always hilarious when I see him.
Alan Ormsby worked on Children Shouldn't Play with Dead Things with Bob Clark, right? Is that right?
I believe so.
Yeah.
Neither of them ever directed again. Alan Ormsby also did the screenplay for Cat People in '82, which is another great movie.
And I want to say that
I mean, this is
Savini had something to do with the effects on this movie a little bit. Like he was there, he did some consultation or something. Here he is, makeup department. Tom Savini, makeup artist, with Alan Ormsby and Jerome Bergson. They did makeup on this movie. So, yeah, there you go.
Yeah, a couple of scenes. He didn't do a whole lot, but I believe it was one of the scenes where like they take an eyeball out of a head, and that was Tom Savini.
Yeah.
It was really early, but yeah, really fun throwback.
It was.
Like it though. I mean, it's fun. It's on Prime Video right now, so you can watch it.
All right, cool. Yeah, I recommend this movie. It is a good movie, and if you're at all interested in the Ed Gein stuff, you're interested in that whole story, you're a Chainsaw fan, you like Psycho, definitely recommend watching Deranged. And then after that, go watch the Ed Gein movie that came out of, about 10, 15 years ago.
Yeah. Travis is right. Bob Clark gave us the Nightmare of Baby Geniuses. You know what? Bob Clark did give us the Nightmare of Baby Geniuses, but Bob Clark also gave us a couple movies in 1974 too that are not Baby Geniuses. So,
and they're fantastic.
We'll get to those. They really are.
So this one's highly recommended by Charles and myself.
Thumbs up.
All right, so the next one up is...
Thumbs up, bud.
Thumbs up. Good job, Charles. The next one up, debonair supernatural expert Captain Kronos and his hunchbacked assistant meet their match when they encounter a village where vampires have been stealing the vitality of young women. Released April 7th, 1974, this is the British swashbuckling action horror film Captain Kronos, Vampire Hunter, written and directed by Brian Clemens.
Lloyd, you're pretty debonair to me. You could be a swashbuckler.
I like that debonair word. Hi, I'm debonair, and I am a vampire killer.
Debonair. I absolutely love this movie. I really do. Captain Kronos is one of my favorite Hammer flicks. Super underappreciated at its time, though. It really was. It was like a super bomb at the box office.
I think it's still underappreciated. I don't see a lot of love for this movie.
You know, only movie directed by Brian Clemens. He was a writer. He wrote In Soon the Darkness and Dr. Jekyll and Sister Hyde, we talked about. Actually, a pretty good director. Captain Kronos was supposed to be a series of films, so they were going to make a series based on this, but it lost so much money they just canned it. It's a fantastic movie. It really is.
Does this one have... Yes, this one has past TFW guest Carolyn Monroe in it. And I love her.
Always stunning.
Still stunning, even to this day. She's a gorgeous, gorgeous woman and so delightfully friendly.
Yeah, she's so nice. Sweet lady. Bond girl. I love my Bond girl, so she's so great. Horst Johnson played Captain Kronos in this, but it's hilarious because after the movie was completely wrapped and done, they re-recorded his entire dialogue with somebody else, Julian Holloway, because his German accent was so thick nobody could understand a word he freaking said. So they had to record the whole movie again.
That's got to be the biggest insult to any actor to have your voice dubbed. It's got to be.
Completely.
That happened to Alice Cooper with Monster Dog, which I never could figure out why in the world.
Oh yeah, Monster Dog.
His voice, but okay.
You're like, why?
Yeah.
But
I've got the poster up.
Captain Kronos,
like French poster, right, Charles?
Yeah, French poster, hand-drawn French poster. Really fantastic movie. I really recommend checking it out. This one's also on Prime Video. Prime Video's been kicking it up a notch with some good stuff lately. Give it a watch. I mean, really, it's a horror movie meets a swashbuckler and throw in some spaghetti western in there, and you got Captain Kronos, Vampire Hunter. And
Todd
it's kind of sad.
Was asking when she was a guest, what year, and I want to say that was 2012 or 13, right, Charles?
I believe it was 2013.
Might have been, but
it's kind of hard to remember, guys. Too, you'd be surprised how much these guests kind of like blend together after a few years.
Well, it's not that they blend together; it's the years blend together. I mean, they blend
together the years.
Yeah, I remember experiences with the guests and talking with the guests, but I can never remember what year it was. You know.
Yeah, I can remember all the years up until 2009 or 10. And then when we got a lot larger, you know, I can remember meeting people, but sometimes it's the years. Like I'll get the years displaced a little bit. So, but it was 2013. 2013 she was here. So right. I remember.
She's a guest that I want to bring back as soon as possible. So if anybody missed her that year.
Yeah.
It's weird because we announce every one of our guests and we make a big deal, but sometimes people just don't notice that we announce them. And I see posts every now and then after the show, people will go, wait a minute, Carolyn Monroe was there? I never even saw her.
Right.
It's kind of funny.
Yeah.
Yep, she was there.
It happens, though. Sometimes, when you have a lot of guests, and you guys are looking forward to maybe one or two, it kind of, some of the other ones may fall off the wayside. It happens.
Todd, yes. We would love to bring her back. And I'll tell you another thing. She knows, and her daughter knows, they have a lot of friends that are former Hammer people and former Bond people. So
we want them.
Yeah, one year I want to bring in several of her guests and her friends, and we can have some Bond and Hammer stuff going on.
Let's do it, man.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm a equal parts Bond nerd as I am a Hammer nerd. So
yeah,
I once watched every single James Bond movie in the course of like 5 days. So there you go. That's a problem.
Well, let's go to the next one, because this is one that I have very fond memories of as a kid.
Yeah, let's jump up. So we got a wealthy sportsman. The sportsmen do that. They go. That's all I got. A wealthy sportsman invites a house full of guests to a big game hunt that he's devised. He's sure that one of those guests is a werewolf, and he intends to stalk it, find it, and kill it. Released in the UK on April 22nd, 1974, it is the British film The Beast Must Die, directed by Paul Annett, based on the 1950 short story There Shall Be No Darkness by James Blish. Co-production between Amagus and British Lion Films. Go ahead, Lloyd. What's your memories?
My favorite memory about this movie is the werewolf break, where they actually call it a werewolf break, and they take a break, and you have to decide who the the werewolf is. It's one of the funniest gimmicks in a horror movie that I remember from the 70s. I love it. And you know what? I actually rewatched this when Severin re-released it in their little Amicus box set. And it's actually it's not too bad. It's kind of fun, Not a lot of great werewolf effects, so don't go into this thinking you're going to see a great werewolf transformation, because you're not. But yeah, that's what I mainly remember is the werewolf break, or the fond memory that I have is the werewolf break.
Yeah. That, also Calvin Lockhart is really good in this, actually. He really created some intense characters, the hunter, and that's kind of what I remember in this. And also the fact that, it was very welcome at this time to see an African-American taking a leading role in, at the time, was very white-dominated British horror. So seeing him come in and kind of take on this role and actually do an awesome job was really fantastic, and it really was great for the time, too. Highly recommended as well. And yeah, like you mentioned, there is the release. There's actually a 4K release coming out of this too. Next week, there's a 4K release.
Is that right?
Yeah, Severin's doing a 4K resto release that's coming out next week.
Which is a bummer, because I bought the box set, and the Blu-ray doesn't look that great. The print's it's beat up and it's kind of scratched. But you know what? I'll probably rebuy this movie just because, the nostalgia that I have for it.
Yeah, it is streaming on Prime Video. If you haven't seen it before, you can give it a watch on Prime Video. I flipped it on earlier, and the Prime Video copy is not that good. It's probably on par with like that, Blu-ray one you saw.
It's the exact
I'm actually going to pick
print
up the 4K resto. Yeah. I'm going to pick up the 4K resto because it's another one that I've never seen a good copy of. I used to have a VHS copy of this, and I'd like to see a redone copy. It's kind of fun.
Yeah. Let's watch the trailer that we have queued up for it.
Yeah, let's do it.
When the moon is full, the beast must die.
One of you is a werewolf.
You must track down the werewolf. One of these 8 people is a werewolf. Can you guess which one?
Which one? Which one? Which one? Which one? Which one? Which one? Which one? Which one?
One of these 8 people will turn into a werewolf. Can you guess who it is when we stop the film for the werewolf break? See it, solve it, but don't tell. The beast must die.
Okay, there we go.
We're back.
All right. For some reason, it takes a minute for the mics to go live. But there you go. Me, you fools said, I keep thinking the blonde guy with the beard is Rennie Harlan. That's pretty funny. I never thought about that, but he does look a little like Rennie Harlan.
He does kind of look like Rennie Harlan, yeah.
Yeah. I recommend this flick mainly for the nostalgia factor for myself. I love that they put a mane around the whatever that dog is. I don't think it's even a wolf, is it? I think it's kind of like a shepherd mix or something.
It's like a shepherd dog, yeah.
Yeah.
It's so great though. It's fun for nostalgia. It's a little bit, it's a good story. It's based on a short story, but it's a pretty good film considering it had a lower budget. And actually, it was the werewolf was played by a German Shepherd. That's what I just saw here. So
okay,
that's
yeah,
good. This was actually the last horror movie produced by Amicus. So there we go.
Yeah, and it kind of shows. I mean,
yeah,
you'll know when I see it. It's a fun movie, but it's definitely not up to their normal standards.
Yeah, it's a fun watch, but it's definitely not up to like the normal ones, like you said. Decent acting though, and just a fun kind of laid back watch. Just a good one to throw in.
Yeah, and something that I just thought of that we forgot to mention for last week's show was The Boy Who Cried Werewolf from 1973. That's another one has a lot of nostalgia for me. This is exactly what you think it is. There's a boy that says he keeps seeing a werewolf, and nobody believes him until there's actually a werewolf. And it's really silly. I think it was a made-for-TV movie, but I had to bring that up because it reminds me of this movie reminds me of The Boy Who Cried Werewolf for some reason.
Yeah, didn't they remake that like on Nickelodeon like 10 years ago or something too?
I don't know if that was an actual remake or if it was, but yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Just the name?
Just the name. I don't know.
I just remember hearing the name. I've never seen either of them, so.
Yeah. This was one that I had a cousin named Scott that used to drag me into watching a lot of movies with him. And this was, these two movies I think were movies that he said, oh, you got to watch these with me, and I was a real little kid, so. Nostalgia.
You're like, okay.
So yeah. What else?
A lot of these are nostalgia,
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's kind of it. This is it's a fun watch. I think we said it is on Amazon Prime, so if you want to check it out, go ahead and give it a go. It's probably something you can watch with younger kids too. I mean, there's no sex and nudity in it. There's very mild violence, so maybe a fun one you can watch with a younger crowd too. So go for it.
All right, next up, the Davies expect a baby who turns out to be a monster with a nasty habit of killing when it's scared, and it's easily scared. Released on April 26, 1974 at only one theater in the U.S., it's the American horror film It's Alive, written, directed, and produced
one theater
by Larry Cohen.
Oh,
I think this movie. I love this movie. I love the whole series.
Agree.
Larry Cohen was a great filmmaker, great writer. He wrote a lot of mainstream films too that people just don't realize were written by Larry Cohen. But this is a fun movie. I'm sure a lot of people know It's Alive. It came out on a Blu-ray box set released by Shout Factory in 2018. Charles says it's out of print, but you can still buy the box set for $29.99 on Amazon. Is that right?
Yeah. So the Shout Factory released it as a single disc, and then they released it as a box set with all three. So the single disc is like completely out of print, but the box set's only $30, and that's how much the single disc was when it released. So I'd recommend getting it because it's probably not going to be around much longer. So
I can't imagine it being around much longer. I bought the box set because I have a fond place in my heart for It's Alive. So I still haven't.
Well, they're all pretty good movies. You know, they're all fun movies. And Rick Baker did effects in it too. Yep. So, you know, Rick Baker designed and created the crazy baby in it. So, yeah, I mean, it's pretty fun. I haven't watched in a while. I do have the box set too that I got a couple years ago. Haven't watched it though. I really want to watch it again. But always a great movie. Like you said, yeah, this was the first venture into horror for Larry Cohen. Larry Cohen will become really well known for what he wrote and did in the 80s. We all know that. But Cohen was around for a long time. You know, Cohen started his career as a writer in the 60s for TV. His first few blaxploitation movies were where he directed. Those are awesome movies if you've never seen them. He did Bone in 72 and Black Caesar and Hill Up in Harlem in 73. Those were his first three movies. Great movies. Then he went to horror. So,
wow.
But it was also scored by Bernard Herrmann. It was also scored by Bernard Herrmann, who's one of the greatest composers of all time. So you got this movie that's got a fantastic writer and director as Larry Cohen. You've got Rick Baker doing effects, and you've got one of the greatest composers of all time doing this fun score that's marched to it. So one of the last scores Bernard Herrmann did. So
yeah, I always loved
fantastic
It's
movie.
Alive.
Really fantastic.
And speaking of movies that were written by him, I always liked or directed Q, Quetzalcoatl. The Q, the big giant flying lizard.
By
Larry Cohen.
Oh, Q the winged serpent.
Yeah,
the winged serpent. I was lucky enough to watch a 35mm print of Q at Alamo Draft House a couple years ago.
Yeah.
So it was really cool. It was really cool to see. But
his
Cohen,
movies remind me of, you know, the VHS era, that when VHS was really hot for us, because, you know, there were so many of his movies that were out on VHS or beta or whatever we happened to be renting that week.
Todd asked if Larry was ever a guest at TFW. No, Larry was not a guest.
He was not. We had talked about bringing him in a few times. It just never happened, and then he got pretty ill where he didn't really like to travel anymore, and then he passed away. So
I want to thank Richard. Richard just gave us a $5 super chat. So thank you, Richard.
Woo-hoo.
Really appreciate it.
Thank you, Richard. We appreciate that.
I agree, though. I would have loved to meet Larry. You know, I love the stuff. I love Maniac Cops he did. But It's Alive is one of my favorites he did. It's such a great movie. So it's not streaming anywhere, guys. I'd recommend picking up that box set while you can get it. You won't be disappointed. You know, Larry didn't direct the second It's Alive, but he did come back and direct It's Alive 3, which is actually a really good movie too. So
Island of the Alive.
Yeah, Island of the Alive. And it was surprisingly good for a third movie in a horror series, which most of the time those weren't good. So
the poster you gave me was for the alternate title Baby Killer, which is kind of crazy.
Baby Killer.
Because it could be interpreted as someone who kills babies.
Yeah. Italy and Denmark, it was released as Baby Killer. That was its actual original working title, and they wouldn't let them release it under Baby Killer in the U.S., but hey, Italy and Denmark, it was fair game. Let's roll. I'm going to move up. Here we go. All right, guys. A doctor believes death is not the end and will go to any length to prove it. Released in Madrid, April 29th, 1974, it is the Spain and Ecuador co-production, El Pantano de los Cuervos, or The Swamp of Ravens, directed by Manuel Cano. All right.
Good old Manuel Cano. Let's dig into this one, because there's a few things to dig into on The Swamp of the Ravens.
All right, we can do it.
The movie itself, I wouldn't recommend, based on just the movie. However, if you are a fan or a Reanimator fan, you will want to check this movie out. Because the doctor has created some sort of serum that he injects into people that bring the dead back to life. He is also ousted from his practice, or whatever you want to call it, the university that he works at. I can't remember. Because he's been bringing dead people back to life. So, it's, and there's even a character, and I couldn't remember, and I have a DVD of this, but it's buried somewhere, so there's nowhere to watch it right now, unless you have the DVD. But I wanted to pull that out.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, I wanted to watch it, because I can't remember, there was a character in this movie that was the name of a character in Reanimator also. Do you remember who that was? I can't remember it. But you can buy this movie. It is out of print. It was on Something Weird DVD. Something Weird Video released it with... it was a double feature with another crazy movie. But if you're a Reanimator fan, you probably want to check this movie out. Because I am sure that the creators or the makers of that movie saw this and they incorporated a few ideas into it.
Yeah, I have to agree. Lots of similarities. Well, and it was released, like you said, on a DVD with The Thirsty Dead.
Yeah, The Thirsty Dead. It's
the only way you can get it. The DVD is out of print, but you can actually pick up a used one for like $10 because, like Lloyd said, the movie itself is not that good. I have to give props because there are not many horror movies out of Ecuador. So something filmed and out of Ecuador is always cool. So I can't knock that.
Yeah. Okay. Here we go. I accidentally I hit the button and it started playing, so we'll start it again. I was like, oh my God, we got to watch it. So here it goes. Okay, I'm waiting on the mics to unmute. Good Lord, this is taking forever. I don't know why, but... Oh, there we go. We're back. Okay, so the mics are coming back a little bit late. This is definitely a WTF moment. This is crazy, but I'm telling you guys, if you're a Reanimator fan, you got to track this movie down. It's fun. It's crazy.
And that's that.
And the Swamp of the Ravens, there's no ravens in the swamp. They're actually buzzards.
Oh.
So, but it's fun. I can't remember the name of the doctor, but they mentioned somebody's name, and I don't think the character is ever on screen. But it's a name of a character from Reanimator. So, who knows, man? I'm sure that whoever made this movie, Ecuador, Spain, I'm sure they read Reanimator at one point and were inspired.
Yeah. And what's funny too is that weird, stupid song. It's not supposed to be comedic. They were serious about that song. They were like, this is going to set this movie off, guys. Like, this is my dead robot. My dead robot. Oh, my robots.
They were probably banking on selling
Rosie the robots.
Herbert West.
It's going to get stuck in your head now. You're going to be sitting in your beds later going, my robot. You're gonna be like, son of a bitch.
So this excerpt definitely does not represent the movie. Do not let it deter you from seeing it. I won't recommend it only for people that are curious. If you like Reanimator, you're gonna want to check this out and check out all the similarities. That's really the only interest in this film.
Yeah, you have to agree. Anybody, like you're saying, who's diehard Reanimator, pay the $10, pick up the DVD, because you can always resell it for the $10 later. It's out of print. So
it's out of print. It doesn't go for a whole lot of money, but it's not going to break the bank if you want to track it down and find it.
It used to go for more, and I think everybody bought it because it was out of print. And they were like, "What the hell is this?" They just turned around and sold it. They were like, "All right, what's going on?" All right, Lloyd, what you got for me?
Okay, what you next got? Up is a hippie girl wandering on a California beach is taken in by a veteran who lives in a nearby mansion with his sister. However, the girl soon begins to suspect that something strange is going on inside of the mansion. Released May 1st, 1974, it's the American film Welcome to Arrow Beach. Written, directed, produced, and starring Lawrence Harvey, also known as Tenderflesh and Cold Storage.
Ooh, that's my nickname for you, Lloyd. Tenderflesh.
My interest in this movie came from the main star of the film, Meg Foster. Meg Foster stars in this movie. She's as gorgeous as ever in this movie. Meg is a frequent Texas Frightmare Weekend guest. And the first year that we brought her in, I searched this movie out and found it. You used to buy a bootleg from of this movie on a website that sold bootlegs. But I want to say somebody streamed it not too long ago, but it's nowhere around now. I don't know where you would find a copy.
Yeah, you can only get a bootleg.
Yeah.
LloydCryersBootleg.com. That's where you'll find it.
Well, I have one copy. That's it. But I think it's a good movie. And Meg was always fond of this movie personally herself.
Yeah. Okay. It's kind of a mixed bag for me on this one. Well, so Lawrence Harvey directed this. Now, Lawrence Harvey was largely known as an actor, not a director. Lawrence Harvey was nominated for Best Actor in '59 for Room at the Top. Lawrence Harvey actually died before this came out of stomach cancer. So he was finishing this and he was sick while this movie was being filmed, and you can always kind of tell during this movie because he looks sickly during this movie if you watch this movie. And Lawrence Harvey, his daughter is also Domino Harvey, who that movie Domino is based on, the 2005 film Domino about the bounty hunter. That's Lawrence Harvey's daughter. I believe Keira Knightley played her in that movie. So there's a lot of weird family history there. Yeah, and it's to me, I don't know, it's kind of a weird movie. Like, I can watch it, even though while I watch it, I can point out there's some stuff wrong with it. I mean, Lou Rawls does this really, really ridiculous title song. It's like, doesn't fit in the movie whatsoever. What else? I mean, the editing, it looks like somebody who was whacked out on PCP did it. The editing, it's all jumpy. But I still love Meg Foster, and I love watching this because Meg Foster is always one of my favorites. That's probably why it catches me. Yeah. I wouldn't deter anybody from watching it. I mean, it's it's got some flaws, but it's an interesting story behind the director. Last thing he did, he died. Meg Foster. It's got a decent story for it, so yeah, it's kind of a catchy movie.
And it has Meg Foster.
Yeah, it has Meg Foster, who is always sweet.
Yeah.
Every time I've met her,
if you watch it for anything, I would say watch it for Meg, because man, is she gorgeous in this movie.
Meg is gorgeous in this. I love Meg. She's done the show a bunch. She's always super nice. She's always happy to see me and you. She's always so great. So
she's happy to see Meg. Everybody.
Yeah.
She's one of the friendliest people. I remember her grabbing me by the hand at one point and dragging me out to the patio so we could smoke a cigarette together. It was pretty awesome.
Yeah.
All right, Charles, you're up next. I don't know much about this movie because I don't think I have ever seen it. I know of it. I don't believe I've seen it.
About to get nasty because I know a lot about this movie. All right.
All right.
This is one of my fortes. So, while lecturing in China, Van Helsing agrees to help 7 kung fu trained siblings kung fu reclaim their ancestral mountain village, now the domain of 7 powerful vampires and their army of undead slaves. Released July 11, 1974 in Hong Kong, it's the UK-Hong Kong martial arts horror film, The Legend of the 7 Golden Vampires, directed by Roy Ward Baker and Chang-Chi. All right.
And who?
Chang-Chi.
Chang-Chi. Got it.
Chang-Chi. All right. So, this is the Japanese poster, which translates to Dragon versus 7 Vampires. Now, let's talk about this movie for a second. All right. So, it's a co-production between Hammer in the UK and the Shaw Brothers in Hong Kong. All right. It was a fantastic screenplay that was drowned by infamous production problems over and over again. It was also the last Hammer Dracula movie. Don Hoyton, who wrote the screenplay for this, worked with Hammer a lot. All right. He did Dracula 8072, Satanic Rites of Dracula. But by the time we hit 74, people's interest in Dracula kind of went like this. Everybody's seen it. Yeah. It was done. So Don had this idea. He goes, crap. What's popular right now? Kung Fu fighting. He was like, everybody's Kung Fu fighting. We can cash in on this, and we can make a Dracula Kung Fu movie. So, Brilliant. And the screenplay is actually really good, but there were some problems with this, all right? At the time, the Shaw Brothers, which I would love to talk about the Shaw Brothers for an entire show because that was an awesome film studio, but the Shaw Brothers was already really well known for their Kung Fu movies. So luckily, Don Hoyton was married to a Malaysian Chinese actress by the name of Pixin Lim. It just so happened that her father knew the Shaw Brothers, one of the Shaw Brothers, Run Shaw. So he got lucky with this, right? So because his father-in-law knew the Run Shaw, he got 50% of this movie funded. So basically, Shaw Brothers were wanting to collaborate more with external sources to expand their film business. So they decided they were going to make this movie, but they moved forward. Hammer chose the director, and it was going to film in Hong Kong. Well, when they started filming this movie, here's the problem they ran into. For one, the way the Chinese culture makes films and the way the British culture makes films is completely different, right? Completely different. Does not mesh. And this actually comes out in the movie. You can tell that they struggled to make this. Not only that, so half the crew was from Britain, half the crew was from Hong Kong. They worked together, but the Hong Kong crew didn't speak English and the Britain crew didn't speak Chinese. So nobody could ever figure out what anybody was doing. At one point, the director, Roy Baker, was apparently one of the rudest people and was known for throwing racial slurs at the Chinese workers, which is not nice at all.
Nice.
Not nice at all. This movie's plagued with so many problems. So, Ching Che, like we mentioned earlier, came on because the Shaw brothers watched a cut and they said, wow, this Britain guy does not know how to make kung fu movies at all. There's no kung fu fighting. So, Shang-Chi was actually like he's the godfather of Hong Kong cinema, basically. He's known for kung fu movies. Super awesome, super talented. So at one point, they had two directors working on this movie. You had Shang-Chi doing half the movie, and you had Warwick Baker doing the other half of the movie, and they tried to edit together. Doesn't really mesh well. But overall, it's a fun movie. All right, it's got a great script. It's an interesting take on Dracula. I really, really recommend everybody watching it. It's something really great to see. You've got Peter Cushing in it, which was like his 397th time playing Van Helsing. He might as well just change his name to Van Helsing. You've got like I said, great screenplay. You've got decent actors in it. Really troublesome though with the editing and two directors. There was all these cultural differences that just did not work for these two. And it's something I think if both parties would have, not been so excited about collaborating, they probably should have saw this coming because it's pretty blatant. When you throw, 175 people on a set and 50% of them can't talk to each other and they're supposed to work together, nothing good's going to come out of that whatsoever, Right. I love this movie though because I love Hammer horror and Charles loves Eastern Asian horror, so it's a good combo. It's fun to watch. The U.S. it was retitled Seven Brothers Meet Dracula, and they edited like another 20 minutes out of it. Not a very good cut, but there's a great Blu-ray out of this one. I'd recommend getting. It's a great one for the collection while it's out. That's all I have to say about this one, but I could talk about it for a lot longer.
Well, this is one that I've wanted to check out for a while, and I'll get around to it at some point. I'll check it out. Next up is something very terrible that is so terrible it had to make it to the list.
Oh, God, yes. Thank you, Loyd, for putting this on the list.
Yeah, 4 college students and their leader embark on a path of mystery and death while searching for the abominable snowman. Released July 26, 1974, it's the American film Shriek of the Mutilated, directed by exploitation filmmaker Michael Finley, also known as Mutilated and Scream of the Snow Beast.
That's the best title. Scream of the Snow Beast is what it should have been called.
Shriek of the Mutilated is pretty good too, though, you got to admit. This movie is on Prime Video. I hadn't seen it in a long time, so I had to queue this up. I watched this movie again yesterday, and boy, was I in for a treat. There's a scene in this movie, without giving a lot away, there's a scene in this movie where a couple get into a fight. The guy takes a saw to her throat. You don't see the saw. The next, it goes straight to, he's got the saw to her throat. Next thing you know, he's in the bathtub. He's bloody. He's got all his clothes on. He's scrubbing the blood off of his shirt. He's drinking a beer. His girl that he just did whatever to her throat is scooting across the floor and pushing a toaster. And it's got to be either, number one, the longest cord on a toaster in the history of America, because it reaches all the way from the kitchen to the bathroom. And then she tosses it in and electrocutes the guy. And I don't even know why that scene is in that movie, to be honest with you.
Why not? Why
not? This movie kind of plays out at the end, kind of like a Scooby-Doo episode also. It's wild. It's crazy. It's one of those movies that you want to watch when you have a couple beers or, get inebriated with whatever item that you'd like and just have a good time and watch it. It's crazy.
It's definitely a movie for that. It's definitely a movie for that. We have a trailer for it, and I think we should just play the trailer because it's going to be better.
All right, here we go. Shriek of the Mutilated. I think it's the one. No, that's Beast. Oh, I know what it is. Here it is.
Yeah.
Wrong thing. That was the wrong one. Let's try again.
The sight of it will live with you or die with you, but you will never forget the shriek of the mutilated. The abominable snowman, the Yeti, or is it? A scientific expedition that turns into a nightmare for all but a few, with the surprise ending of the year.
Sometimes it almost sounds like something human.
Find anything out there?
Well, Dr. Prell thinks we might.
Oh, Prell's got a thing about snowmen. The trouble is that people believe that garbage of his can get themselves in trouble.
It's the damnedest thing, Ernst. If it isn't a Yeti, I can't imagine what it could be.
I could see it as it was chewing the flesh of Tom's leg.
Honey, stop treating me like a child! Will you stop acting like one? Dr. Prowl brought you on this mission for a reason.
This is not for the weak. This is truly the shriek of the mutilated. Rated R.
All right, we're back, Charles. So, Shriek of the Mutilated.
Stop treating me like a child!
Stop treating me like a child! There was something else I was going to say about this movie. There's a lot to say about this movie.
I don't know.
Oh, the other thing this movie is kind of known for is a song that, if you look back on it, you wonder why it was a hit in the first place. It's a completely annoying song. It's a song called Popcorn that was popular in the 70s. They played this song on the radio, and I don't know how to describe it other than it seemed like a futuristic song in the 70s. The song was, it held up a release of this movie for a while because the rights holders of the song didn't want to put it back on, but it is intact again on Prime Video. Like I said, the song is called Popcorn, and they play it fairly early. There's a party scene, and it's the song that's playing in the background. Of course, they have some dude there serving fresh popcorn at this party, and everybody's kind of dancing and having fun. And it's a stupid movie, but it's fun. It really is.
So what you're saying is we need to serve popcorn and sing at Frightmare.
Well, we should have done that now.
We should have.
So, and one thing I never could figure out when they show flashback scenes of the monster attacking, they whitewash the picture. Was that? I can't figure out if that was to make it look like it was snowing in those scenes, or if it was. I don't know what was going on. It's crazy.
Yeah. And the director of this, Michael Findley, died in 1977. So if you guys don't know that story, the director of this actually died. He got, I don't want to laugh because it's not funny, but he got cut into little pieces by a helicopter. It's pretty sad, actually. They used to run helicopters in New York from the Pan Am building, basically like taxis to LaGuardia and the airports. And he was boarding one of those, and something happened, and it tipped over and basically landed on top of him and killed him and 2 other people. And it's really terrible. And one of the reasons why they stopped doing that.
Yeah, that effectively ended that whole thing of helicopters as transportation around New York City.
Yeah. They've just recently started doing it again in a very limited, super rich fashion, but not like this. Because it used to be you could pay $50 and get on one of these planes. I mean, one of these helicopters and ride it to Jersey or something. Not anymore.
Yeah. It's also worth mentioning that this is the husband of exploitation filmmaker Roberta Findlay. So he was the director. They were very successful. They made several movies, and then she went on and continued a film career. There was the Flesh trilogy that a lot of people cite as being an early, kind of like a proto-slasher flick. You still there?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, you cut off.
No, that's cool. So I would recommend watching this just because of who made it and how crazy it is.
Yeah.
So I believe that... Are you next, Charles?
Yeah. I'm pulling up our next one here. All right, guys. Where will we be? All right. So, guys, we got a young soldier killed in Vietnam, reappears at his parents' home, but as his behavior becomes more odd, tensions arise within the family. Released August 29th, 1974, it is the U.S.-Canada co-production, Deathdream, directed by our buddy Bob Clark.
Yes, Bob Clark. Special effects by young Tom Savini.
Yeah, known under crap other different names. Dead of Night, Whispers, Came from the Grave, Night Andy Came Home, Night Walk, and King of the Grave. What else? Oh, Chrissy said something's wrong with my mic level. I'm not sure.
I don't either.
What's wrong with my mic level? She said if you don't get your mic level under control, you're going to destroy it. I don't know exactly, Chrissy. Let me know, because
you sound normal to me.
I'm just, yeah, Lloyd said I sound normal to him, so I don't know if it's something feeding over.
Yeah, I don't either.
Let me know, though.
Yep. So Deathdream was one of those movies that was super hard to find. A lot of collectors were looking for this on videotape at one point, especially in the late 90s, early 2000s. Very, very highly recommended film. It's good. It's an early kind of a take on what happens to people after they return from Vietnam. So it's cool for that reason.
Yeah. I always enjoyed this one. It's definitely. Sorry. I was just looking at that. Bad Boy said, little on the static side. You're overmodulated, which means you're outputting a red. Yeah, I'm not positive, Christy, because I actually feed into Lloyd's thing on Zoom, and Lloyd said I sound normal, so I don't know.
Yeah, you are. Lloyd, I do hear you kind of popping on your end, but I turned your volume down. Do you have a volume button on your end?
Yeah, I'm pretty far down. Let's just keep rolling, and I'll look at it.
Okay. Well, I'll turn you down a little bit on my end, but so Deathdream. What else do you got about Deathdream?
I don't know. It's just one I enjoy. It's a pretty creepy little chiller. Bob Clark was really a visionary in the 70s. A lot of these horror stuff he brought out. Another creepy classic of his. I really recommend giving it a watch if you haven't seen it. It can be a little slow, but it's a real good story when you get into it because it tries to build into a great story.
Yeah, it really does. And I recommend it. Definitely a recommend on that one. So next up is a weird movie that's actually pretty enjoyable. I enjoy it a lot. You can watch this on Prime Video right now. It is up to two scientists and a strange girl to save everyone when desert ants suddenly form a collective intelligence and begin to wage war on people. Released September 6, 1974, it's the UK-US sci-fi horror film Phase 4, the only feature-length film directed by renowned graphic designer Saul Bass.
Yeah. I absolutely 130,000% love this movie. It's one of my favorite movies out of the 70s. Really is.
It is. It's a good movie.
Very much a shame that it was the only movie directed by Sal Bass.
I've got the poster up. The movie is done in a kind of an artistic way. Would you describe it that way, Charles?
Yeah, I mean, really, it's very close to being an art piece. The cinematography on it is absolutely beautiful. It's so like ahead of its time. It was very, yeah. I mean, it's kind of hard to describe, but there's great sequences in it. The opening of the movie starts off with these wonderful shots of just ants, like in their world, no dialogue, nothing, just beautiful shots. And absolutely love it. And yeah, the movie is so unforgettably original. It's so fantastic. Sal Bass, that guy was amazing. What can you say about Sal Bass,
Mm-hmm. One of the reviews on IMDb is titled "Strikingly Weird Film," and that's a great way to put this. It is strikingly weird. I think it's a necessity, though. I think it's something that everybody should see at least once.
I agree, and for everybody who's not familiar with Sal Bass, Sal Bass was, one of the most amazing and influential graphic designers of the 20th century. He's essentially been called the Pablo Picasso of commercial artistry, because he really was. As soon as you know Sal Bass, you'll know his style, because he designed the posters for like Vertigo, Anatomy of a Murder, The Shining, that very square, beautiful shapes, very contemporary. Also did the opening title sequences for North by Northwest, Psycho, Vertigo. He even designed the Quaker Oats and AT&T logos. So
oh, wow.
This guy ended up winning an Oscar late 60s for a documentary film he did on his artistry. And I try to spotlight poster and graphic designers as much as I can, because the job of these graphic designers is never to be known by anybody. Their job is to make directors look good, right? So whenever I get a chance to spotlight these people, I try to. Sal Bass was definitely an amazing jack of all trades. I would have loved to see more films by him.
Yes, absolutely.
Chrissy said I fixed it. I don't know what I did, Chrissy. I switched off and switched back on my microphone, so who knows?
It happens. It happens.
But yeah, thanks you guys for giving me a shout about that. Definitely
yeah, you sounded normal to me, except the pop and a crackle every now and then, but
snap, crackle, and pop. That's how I roll.
That's
man.
How you are.
I'm sorry, I like Rice Krispie treats. What's wrong with that? Marshmallow, Rice Krispies, they're damn delicious, all right?
They are delicious.
I don't need your judgment, you sumbitch.
So if you haven't seen Phase 4, check it out.
You better
going to be
away, Loyd.
Yeah. Change the subject. Charles, the next one is an absolute classic of the genre. Please introduce this one.
All right, guys. Two siblings. All right, we got two siblings. We got three of their friends. They are en route to visit their grandfather's grave in Texas. They end up falling victim to a family of cannibalistic psychopaths. Released October 1st, 1974 in Austin, Texas. It is the infamous one and only American slasher film, Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Boom, done.
Blutgereit in Texas. Those dang Germans and their Blutgereits.
Blutgereit in Texas. The German poster translated to Texas Blood Court. Texas Chainsaw wasn't a title easily translated, so some countries had some random titles. I was looking at some of them earlier. South America was called Madman of the Chainsaw. Japan, it was called Satan's Sacrifice. Italy, it was called Do Not Open the Door. Don't open the damn door, all right? And Greece had the best title. It was called The Schizophrenic Killer with the Saw. Boom. Great title. Love it.
And we all know Texas Chainsaw Massacre. It's a beloved film to every horror fan out there, whether you're from Texas or not. We all love Texas Chainsaw Massacre. It definitely was a massive influence on filmmakers to come for years and years, and it's still influencing filmmakers. And it's something that is still inspiring people to be horror fans. What I've always thought was great about this movie is the opening claims that it really happened. And to this day, you can still find people here and there that will tell you that their brother's sister's uncle actually lived in the town where this happened, and they know it was real. Happened. And I still get people today that aren't so much horror fans, but they come up to me and go, "Oh, you like horror movies? Well, my brother's uncle's dog's sister was related to one of them people that died in that movie." I still get that. It still happens. So it just goes to show you the power of suggestion and a good movie. So I don't think that would have worked in a bad movie. It worked because this movie was so good. Because you also walk out of the movie going, "Man, did you see that guy's head get cut right off with that chainsaw?" And there's hardly any blood in this movie. There's no gore. It's all implied. It's all the power of suggestion. And a lot of people walk out thinking that they saw a lot more in this movie than they really did.
Yeah. This was, for some people who don't know, this was one of the movies. So when I was in middle school, I used to carry VHS tapes in my backpack of movies that parents would let them watch. I had to rent them out for $1. This is one of the movies I used to rent out to kids for $1. And I still have the VHS copy I used to rent out. It's sitting on a shelf over there.
Is that one of Charlie's copies? Charles Band used to release it on his label years ago. Was it Wizard Video or something like that? And then I don't know.
Let me get it. You could probably tell me. Here, let me grab it. You know
all about these VHS tapes. This movie wasn't supposed to make any money. They got investors. Investors were investing, hoping that it would be a loss. That's the Pioneer release, I think, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, 1993.
Yep. Yeah, that was a later copy. Let me see the spine there. That blue, is that MPI at the top?
MPI, home video.
Yeah. And it says Pioneer at the bottom too, doesn't it?
Castle Hill Productions.
Yeah, I can't remember. MPI was later Dark Sky. MPI had, they did a lot of the releases. But I think one of the original ones was put out by Charles Band's video company. One of the very first video releases of that movie, as well as Halloween.
Yeah, and what's funny, like I said, I've actually had this same copy since 1995.
Yep. And Todd Lewis brought this up. The mob ended up owning the theatrical release initially. They did have theatrical rights. That was Bryanston. Bryanston also released Deep Throat. And they literally used to send thugs to the theaters to collect all of the money from the theater owners. And they would take more than they were owed for showing the movie. They would generally end up taking just about everything you had. And that's one of the reasons why this movie was so huge and it made so much money, is because the mob had it and the mob controlled everything. There's a great documentary about Deep Throat that I recommend that you watch, and they talk a lot about that as well. So if you're interested in any of that stuff, watch the Deep Throat documentary.
Yeah, because, like you said, when Hooper finished this, I mean, he really struggled to find a distributor. Nobody wanted to distribute it. And that's how I ended up going to Bryanston Pictures, which was just a front for the Mafia.
Yeah.
And, they say that none of the cast or anybody or Cooper even saw any money from this movie till the mid '80s when New Line Cinema finally reacquired it. Mm-hmm. So that's what's really sad.
Yeah, it was really sad that they were stolen from, and you're not going to argue with the mafia because you'll be dead. Nope. You'll be done. So, that Todd Lewis is talking about the Deep Throat documentary. This is a fantastic movie, as everybody knows. It's so great that when Part 2 came out at the theaters, I immediately ran to the theater to see Part 2 and was so disappointed. I was so upset that the tone was so different in Chainsaw 2. But after years and years later, I finally get it. Chainsaw 2 is a great movie as well. There is so much comedy, black comedy, dark comedy, peppered throughout the original Chainsaw that I think Toby just wanted to amp that up. I think he wanted to do more of that dark comedy and make it more obvious because it's loaded. Part 2 is.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, it's Chainsaw, it's Chainsaw. And yeah, I saw Steven mention that he liked the poster. The poster was awesome he put up. Mm-hmm. I'll tell you guys, Chainsaw had some really awesome foreign posters if you want to look them up. Italy and Japan had some fantastic posters, a lot better. The American poster's real infamous. It's everybody knows what it looks like, but Japan and Italy had some fantastic posters for it. All super rare, all super collectible if you can ever get a hold of them. Great ones to have. It's art, beautiful stuff.
And there's a lot of stories. We definitely could talk about Chainsaw all day long. They're talking about Larroquette in the chat here. John Larroquette, everybody knows, he did the introduction, what do you call it? The narration, the opening narration. And it is true that John Larroquette did the narration for this movie for the payment of one joint. And that's what his payment was.
Sometimes you need a joint, man.
Sometimes you need a joint, and and he has an amazing voice. And I guess he finally got paid when they did the remake, and he came back and did the opening narration.
Oh, Larroquette. All right. Well, we're kind of moving along. Well, we still got a few to do.
Mm-hmm. So next
up, you got a good one.
Is me. I do have a great one. This is one of my all-time favorites. Everybody that watches this show knows that I am a slasher fan to the max. So this one is the granddaddy of all slashers. This is when it actually started feeling like a slasher. There was a lot of horror films that came before that were proto-slashers, but they didn't really feel like a slasher. This movie, during the Christmas break, a group of sorority girls begin to receive anonymous lewd phone calls, initially egging the caller on. They stop when he responds threateningly. Soon after, someone goes missing from the sorority house, and a local girl is murdered, leading the girls to suspect a serial killer is on the loose. But no one realizes just how near the culprit is. Released in Canada on October 11th, 1974, this is the Canadian slasher film Black Christmas, directed by Bob Clark, originally titled Silent Night, Evil Night in the United States.
Oh, Black Christmas. Bob Clark again, guys. Round 2.
This is an all-time classic. Just put up the poster. This had, as the poster says, Olivia Hussey, Keir DeLay, John Saxon, and many, many more stars in this movie. That went on to bigger and better things. This is a great movie. It was rumored for a long time that John Carpenter wanted to make a sequel to Black Christmas. Therefore, he made Halloween. But I think that is just a rumor. I don't think there's any truth to that. But it could be. It definitely could be a sort of a sequel to Halloween. But Black Christmas, like I already said, it's kind of the granddaddy of all slasher flicks.
Yeah, I mean it's it's one of the original slasher flicks, like you say. It's definitely an essential horror film, one that should be should be watched. Yeah, the poster you put up is actually the Argentina poster. I love the Argentina poster. It's absolutely amazing. That Argentina poster is actually, I have a list of like 20 posters I've been hunting down for like 7 years now, and that's one of them that I can't find. But yeah, I love, this is a good year for Bob Clark. Bob Clark really pushed the game that year. He said, I'm going to do it. And that's what we said. Bob Clark was a super innovative filmmaker. And we have 74 to kind of show us that he made these awesome movies,
Yeah. Fantastic movie. I try to watch it every Christmas along with other Christmas horror themed type movies like Silent Night, Deadly Night, and several others that I can't think of the titles to right now. Another one is Don't Open Till Christmas, but this is a great movie when it starts getting cold outside and it's December. It's a great movie to pop in.
Yeah.
So what else can you say? You gotta love Black Christmas.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta love Black. It's just it's one of those just infamous horror movies. I mean, really, if you haven't seen it and you love slashers, you gotta watch it because this is one of the pioneers of the slasher genre. Predated most of them, and it's great use of cameras. Watch it. I mean, it's fantastic. Keep you on the edge of your seat. Great lighting. Love the movie. It's just fantastic.
Fantastic ending. Just a great movie from start to finish. So it is playing on Shudder right now. If you have Shudder, you can watch Black Christmas right now in the summer. And then Shout Factory released a Blu-ray, and I think you can still get it for like $20, right, Charles?
Yeah, you could still pick it up. I looked; it was on Amazon for like $20, something like that.
Yeah,
so it's still around.
This is one of those movies that every time it's been released, I think I've bought a copy of it.
Yeah, and I always tell people, if there's good rule of thumb is that if there's something you kind of want that's released by Shout Factory, just go ahead and buy it because it's likely going to be out of print. You're not going to be able to get it, so go for it.
David Dugas, yes, Silent Night, Bloody Night is another good Christmas slasher. There's also one by, not a slasher, but a Christmas-themed horror movie. The other one that I'm thinking of, I can't think of the name right now, was directed by David Hess of Last House on the Left fame. It was a Santa killer movie, but I've always thought that was a good one as well. All right.
I think that one, it was To All a Good Night. Was it the David Hess one?
I think you're right. I've got that one on Blu-ray. Right, it's a recommended Christmas-themed horror flick.
Don't worry, guys. When we get closer to Christmas, we're doing a whole Christmas-themed special. I got a whole bunch I like, so...
Yeah, exactly. All right, the next one. This is fun, Charles.
Oh, my God. Lloyd, I was so happy when you put this on the list because I was like, oh, my God, I probably wouldn't have. I would have been upset that I didn't. So I want you guys, I'm going to read this. I'm going to read the synopsis. I'm going to see if this sounds familiar.
Okay.
All right. A 12-year-old girl living the high society. She's a highfalutin little girl. Bloop, bloop, highfalutin. She's living the highfalutin lifestyle with her mama in Istanbul, becomes possessed by the devil himself after she experiments with a Ouija board. Released in Turkey, November 1st, 1974. It is the Turkish film Seytan, directed by Metin Erksan.
Yes.
Oh, a.k.a. the Turkish ripoff of The Exorcist.
Like the Turkish ripped off everything. They would rip off anything. They'd make their own version. They had no cares in the world. They would rip off, and they didn't even try to do it in a way that wasn't obvious. They did scene for scene ripoffs sometimes. And this one's fantastic. I love this movie. I've been a fan of it for several years. Mainly because I'm also a fan of The Exorcist. But I think we need to watch the trailer and then come back and talk about this one.
Yeah, let's do it.
It's coming. I don't know. The mics stay off for too long. This is weird. We're back, but we don't. Okay, now we're back. So that is a scene. I don't think a trailer actually ever existed for this movie.
That's a scene. So yeah, if you guys want to get into that more, this is a whole subgenre called Turksploitation. And what Turksploitation is, the Turkish people basically would take movies from Hollywood and do shot-for-shot remakes of them, or very closely to that. There's quite a few they did. I was telling you, there's one they did of Death Wish that's hilarious. There's an E.T. one they did. I know that.
Yeah. They did a Star Wars one as well. And the thing about the Turkish too is in some of their ripoffs they would actually just take scenes from the actual movie and put them in there too.
Yeah. They would cut in scenes from the movie. They would. Yeah. It's hilarious. There's so many great ones. The Rambo one they did is hilarious too. I'd recommend just watching all these. I don't even care. Just watch them all. They're great. I think we need like a remastered 4K box set of all these movies. Like seriously, I want them all.
Well, the sad thing about this movie is it was at one point streaming. I know it was streaming on Amazon Prime for a little while, and it was streamed on some other services, but I don't know where you can get it now. I really don't. I think you said that you can get a DVD, right?
You can pick up a DVD. I'm pretty sure it's a burned DVD, but you can pick one up. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what else to say. I'm pretty sure at some point there'll be a Turkish ripoff of Us, Loyd. So we'll see it.
Yeah.
Let's play Manage Crew.
Oh, that's funny. So next up, we've got an Italian art student's theft of a statue results in a horrifying brush with the supernatural. Released in Italy, November 6, 1974, is the Italian film The Eerie Midnight Horror Show, directed by Mario Gariazzo, also known as Enter the Devil, The Sexorcist, The Tormented, and The Devil Obsession. So once again, another Exorcist ripoff. You can rent this on Amazon for $1.99. There have been 2 Blu-ray releases. 2014 from Code Red, Difficult to Find, and Dark Force released a double feature disc with The House That Vanished in 2018. So, and you're going to pay a premium for both of those because they are out of print.
Yeah, always paying a premium. I'd recommend just renting it for $2 on Amazon.
Did we have a poster for this?
I think so.
I think you're right. I'm going to find it here. Oh, here it is, yeah. The Sexorcists.
That's what they should have called it. It should have just been called The Sexorcist. That's the best title of the bunch.
Definitely. Well, you know, they actually went after, what was it? Who put out The Exorcist? 20th Century? Not 20th Century.
Yeah. No, not 20th Century. No,
I can't remember, but they went after several of these ripoffs. One of the most notorious ones that did actually get shut down is on our list. We'll be getting to that here in a little bit. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this one, but this is one of those, if you're an Exorcist fan, you kind of want to go out and check out all these Exorcist ripoffs, because some of them are good, some of them are terrible, some of them are actually pretty good. Some of them are unwatchable.
Yeah. Yeah, this one's kind of weird to me. I've seen it, and it's just like the movie kind of starts like they're going the way of like an original fun ideal, but it's like halfway through they stopped and was like, oh crap, we gotta keep ripping off The Exorcist. Let's turn this around. They just started ripping off The Exorcist more.
Yeah.
They just like threw the script to the wind. They were like, plot points, we don't need them. Exorcist.
Yeah.
But I love Ivan Rasimov, who's in this. Rasimov.
Yeah.
He plays this dirty little stinky horny devil in this. So.
And the devil, well, no. I'm thinking of one of the other ones. So
yeah, there's a bunch.
Yeah.
74 was the year of Let's Make the Exorcist. So
yep. Go ahead with the next one, Charles. This is a favorite of mine.
We got another one here.
Here it goes.
Pregnant woman becomes possessed as she carries the spawn of Satan. Satan. Released in Italy, November 21st, 74. The U.S.-Italy co-production. Beyond the Door, directed by Ovidio Sonatelespuspuff and Roberto Piazzolla.
Ovidio G. Asonitis.
Did the movie as Ovidio Hellman and Roberto Piazzali. I can't say his name, but he also changed his last name to Barrett for the movie because, like me, us Americans can't pronounce crap because that's us.
Yeah. Ovidio did a lot of strange movies.
He did.
Beyond the Door is one of them. This movie is known for having Juliet Mills as the main possessed character. Juliet Mills was one of those squeaky clean child actresses at one point, I believe, and I don't know what she was mainly known for, but that's what I know of her. And this movie is pretty freaky. It's narrated by the devil. Basically, the devil makes a deal with someone to live again, but he has to convince or make sure that Juliet Mills has this possessed or this weird baby, the child of Satan or something, and she's possessed, and a lot of Exorcist crap happens.
Yeah. Basically, yeah. Juliet Mills was known, for acting. When she was younger, her sister is Haley Mills, which was another child actress. Lots of Disney stuff there, but yeah, I mean it's a movie. No, I actually enjoy this one a lot. Again, it's veering towards The Exorcist. It was very popular at that time. But I was always a fan, like you said, of video. I mean, he did Madhouse. He did Tentacles, which is a fun movie. So I enjoyed it. I think he did. Did he do Piranha 2 with James Cameron? Wasn't he make that one with James Cameron or something?
I can't remember. I do remember one movie that he did that was really weird about like a wizard or something, and I can't even remember the name of that movie. But Beyond the Door opened in, and I'm reading here, but this is basically what I'm trying to get. Beyond the Door opened in the United States in May of 75. It was a major commercial success. It grossed approximately $15 million. Numerous critics deemed it a imitation of The Exorcist. That film's distributor, Warner Brothers, filed a lawsuit against the production company behind Beyond the Door, claiming copyright infringement. A settlement was ultimately reached years later in 1979. The next film, or the next Exorcist movie on our list, was not as lucky. We'll just say that.
It's a couple down, but we'll get to it. That one got destroyed, but Beyond the Door. I mean, yeah, like you said, it was a very high-grossing film, because it was met with pretty decent reviews, and it was not as smart as The Exorcist was. So I think a lot of people really enjoy just going to watch it. I enjoy it. I think it's a fun horror thriller mashup. Is it a complete ripoff of The Exorcist? No, but there's definitely some Exorcist tonality there.
Right. Yeah, there's Exorcist stuff. There's spinning heads. I'll say that. So I recommend Beyond the Door, though. It's a little clunky, but it's one that I enjoy and I do recommend. So let's go to the next one. Here's something else that I really, really like a lot. This is a good flick. A cop chases two hippies suspected of a series of Manson family-like murders. Unbeknownst to him, the real culprits are the living dead, brought to life with a thirst for human flesh by chemical pesticides being used by area farmers.
Damn those pesticides.
Those damn farmers, too, and their pesticides. Released November 28th, 1974 in Italy, it's the Spanish-Italian science fiction zombie film Let Sleeping Corpses Lie, written and directed by George Grau, also known as The Living Dead at Manchester Morgue, and Don't Open the Window. Because you know what happens when you open the window? The zombies come in.
Yeah. Don't open the window. I mean, just like earlier, one of the alternate titles for TCM was Don't Open the Door. So don't open the damn door. Don't open the damn window. Don't open crap.
Yeah.
All right?
Exactly. So Let Sleeping Corpses Lie is a fun movie. I enjoy it a lot. It's one of my favorite zombie flicks. It's kind of a slow builder. Would you say that? It's kind of a slow build of a zombie flick.
It's a little bit of a slow build.
But I like that. I do like that.
I like that too. I mean, it's, generally your slow builders are more intelligent horror films. Meaning intelligent is, they have more of an atmosphere. It's not right in your face. It's building up a plot. This one does it. I think it's, maybe one of the more underrated zombie movies. Now, granted, no, it's gotten a lot more fan base in the last decade or so.
Mm-hmm.
But I really do enjoy it a lot.
You can watch this on Prime Video. Also, it's on Prime right now. So
it's on Prime. Charles Anderson mentioned that Synapse is bringing out a steelbook. Yeah, they are bringing out a steelbook. If you're a fan of this, that steelbook is limited to 6,000 copies, and they're going to go quick.
It'll be $60 to $80 shipped, guaranteed.
Yeah, it's $49.99 plus shipping.
Yeah,
that's every Synapse release like that.
Yep.
But I can guarantee you that 2 years from now, it'll probably be $249 on eBay. So.
Well, and it'll also be a great transfer because Don May does a good job at Synapse.
Yeah, very much. Yeah. So I mean, I enjoy this one. It was overlooked and underrated for a long time. Like I said, the last decade or so, it has picked up a little bit more, but it's beautifully made. I mean, it's really well done. It's one of my, like you said, one of my favorite zombie movies too, and definitely one of the better non-Romero zombie movies, on the list. So,
yeah,
love it. It does move a little bit like sorghum, but it gets going. It's good.
Definitely. All right, buddy, you're next with a favorite of both of ours.
Ah, I love it. I love it. Let's do it. All right, guys. A woman embarks on a series of horrific murders after being possessed by an ancient demon. Oh, crap. Here we go again. A skilled exorcist is called on to stop the evil. It's released December 25th, 1974, just in time for Christmas. It is the blaxploitation horror film Abby, directed by William Girdler. Oh, I love Abby.
There you go. I love this movie, too. I remember seeking it out, and that used to be and it kind of still is the fun thing about movies like this, is seeking it out.
Yeah.
But this movie was sued by Warner Brothers and lost, and they destroyed mostly all of the prints of this movie. But however, some survived, and you can still find copies of Abby out there. So basically, Abby is your blaxploitation version of The Exorcist.
Yep.
Had one of your favorite actors in it.
I have a lot of favorite actors.
It had Blackula in it.
Yeah, I know. It had Blackula in it. William Marshall, fantastic actor.
Mm-hmm.
William Marshall was a great actor who didn't get a lot. He kind of got typecast in these blaxploitation films and didn't get some of the roles he probably deserved. That I could do a whole series on William Marshall. He's in a movie called Honky, which is not an autobiography about me or Loyd. It's a movie called Honky. The last thing I remember him popping up in is like the '94 movie Maverick with Mel Gibson. I just felt so sad. I'm like, really? This is what he's been reduced to? It's a great actor. But definitely Warner Brothers didn't want you to see it.
They did not want you to see this. This was William Girdler, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So let's watch Abby, the trailer. This is a trailer or a scene?
I believe it's a trailer I pulled.
Okay. Here we go.
This was Abby. This was Abby. A woman loved and in love until that night when something evil came looking for a soul to possess.
I can't stop thinking about your husband.
That creep. Forget him. Was this Abby? Now the fun starts.
Grab her! Hold her! Hear me, demon. Leave this woman's body!
Abby. Rated R.
All right.
He's out there.
Just waiting on the sound to come back now. I don't know what's going on with it.
We got
Hang
some
on
sound?
a sec. Almost.
Yeah, we're back.
No sound yet.
Oh, I can hear it on YouTube.
You can?
Yeah.
It is so weird. It's showing it's muted.
Oh wait, maybe we are muted. No, we're on. We're around. No, we're on.
All right,
let me
so
say,
Abby.
Abby is Abby's great. It's a fun movie, and like Lloyd said, there's not many versions of it. Now, AGFA, part of Draft House, does have an original 16 millimeter print of Abby. I know they have it in their archive. There's only 2 of them in the world, and they have one of them.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been holding out for a screening of that at some point because I would love to see it. The movie itself, though, I enjoy it. There's some stuff in there. There's a lot of freeze scenes, which I didn't like, but it's an enjoyable film. I mean, it's really, really was great. It was doing fantastic at the box office till Warner Brothers went after it.
Yeah, it really was. And this is a cool movie. We actually had the star Carol Speed at our show back when we were at the Sheraton. I can't remember what year that was. But Parrish Randall had reached out to her. She was living in Oklahoma at the time. And she came down for a day or so, I think.
Yeah.
But then just kind of got up and left at one point. So I don't know if anybody...
She just randomly left.
Yeah, she just left. I don't know if anybody, knew who she was or what was going on. But it was a really cool guest to have. And... So I hope she did well, but who knows? I never got to speak with her. She wasn't there very long.
I talked to her a little bit, but I don't know. It's kind of a weird interaction. Like, she didn't really seem like she wanted to talk to me. So it's kind of weird because as everybody knows, I'm a huge fan of blaxploitation films, and Carol Speed was in some of my favorite ones. She was in Big Birdcage, The Mac, Black Samson, Disco Godfather. And I was just like, I was talking to her about the Mac, like in the middle of talking to her, she just got up and like left or like went to the bathroom, and I was just like, okay.
Well,
like, cool.
I think she has some, honestly, and I don't say this with any, ill will towards her, but I think she has had a few mental issues, unfortunately.
Yeah.
And I mean that in the serious mental issues.
No, yeah.
So
she seemed a little out of it, and I know we were kind of concerned about she at the show, but then like you said, she just left, so we thought maybe it was what she needed to do. So sometimes you gotta let people do what they need to do.
It was funny. I went to see John Waters in Canada when I went to the Rue Morgue Festival of Fear, and he did a whole thing. He gets up on stage and he talks about making films, and he brought up Abby, and on stage, and he said, "I wonder whatever happened to Carol Speed." And so after the show, I went and I talked to John for a few minutes about Carol. And he was such a nice guy. He loves Abby. But he was genuinely interested what happened to Carol Speed. And I was able to fill him in and tell him that she was living in Oklahoma. And that was kind of cool.
Yeah. Definitely one of those rare guests and the fun guests when you can get them. So very cool.
Definitely. So here we go. We did Abby. We are on the very last flick. And again, I've been saying this a lot this episode, but this is another movie that I really enjoy. It's one of my favorites. Two mysterious women lure various passers-by to their rural mansion in the English countryside and hold them captive in order to feed on them to satisfy their insatiable thirst for blood. It's the British erotic lesbian vampire horror film Vampyres, with a Y, directed by Jose Ramon Larraz. Larraz. I actually love Jose Ramon Larraz. I'm a fan of his. Arrow put out a cool box set of Larraz films, and I hear they might be working on another one. So I don't know if that's true or not. I didn't hear that from Arrow, guys, so don't repeat me.
Yeah. I mean, I've been a fan of his too. He did a few stuff. I mean, Edge of the Axe is a fantastic movie.
Yeah.
Deadly Manor, of course. He did write a movie I really like. He wrote it, didn't direct it, but he wrote a movie called Watch Out Gringo, Sabato Will Return. It's such a fantastic movie. So,
well, I've always just liked the atmosphere of this movie. I love that there's a couple traveling the countryside, and they've got their camper trailer in tow, and they kind of pull over, and they camp there one night, and it's adjacent to this mysterious mansion, and I love the atmosphere of this movie. That's really all that I can say. I recommend it. And I recommend checking out some other Larraz films too, because like Charles said, there's a bunch. Symptoms, Whirlpool, there's all kind. Edge of the Axe that you already mentioned, which is a crazy flick. Stigma. Symptoms is an older one from him. I think it was the same year as Vampyres, if I'm not mistaken.
I believe 73 or 74. 74, I believe. One of those years. Yeah, I like this a lot, and Vampyres. It's very reminiscent of some series of films the director named Jean Rollin did.
Yeah,
if you're familiar with any of those, Nude Vampire, Rape of the Vampire, Requiem for Vampire. And there was a fourth one, but
basically naked female vampires.
Basically naked female vampires, but yeah, this is pretty reminiscent of those. Those are a great set of films too. This one's kind of fun, but I mean, naked vampires. I mean, they knew how to sell it at the time, so.
Yeah. Here's the poster. That's a beautiful poster. I don't think I've ever seen this art for Vampyres.
Yeah, that's the Italian poster. It was released as Carnal Obsession there. So that's another. Original Italian one-sheets are super rare, so they're usually beautiful.
Yeah, that's gorgeous art. I'd love to have that poster or a copy of it.
But it's definitely if you want to say it's definitely erotic horror, but it's definitely well done erotic horror. You know, it's pretty well made. It's not like the Skinemax movies of the '90s. It's actually a really well done movie. It is softcore, you know, but it's fun. It's a good, nice little tied up bow tie up exploitation. So enjoy it.
Perfect. Well, that is our list for 1974, everybody.
Holy crap.
That's all the featured films. Of course, there are a lot of films that came out this year. As always, our lists are not all-inclusive. This is the Loyd and Charles list of films that we admire for whatever reason, either because they're good or they're super terrible or they're somewhere in between. But that is our list. We do have an honorable mention list, and let's go ahead and play the video for that, Charles.
All right, let's do it.
Say you're sorry.
There is no way in this life to stop me.
They bring their own omen. And it is written in blood. The devil times 5.
I really don't.
Hi, you hungry? Looking for a tempting treat? Hold on till I absorb some heat. Some added tang might please you too. I'll slide into an oven-fresh bun, and I'm ready for your eating fun.
Why don't you try a juicy good hot dog? Mmm, delicious.
Cinematic shock treatment. Guaranteed to scare you out of your mind. No one ever leaves Madhouse.
Ghost Galleon.
And we are back. It shows that we're muted, but I'm not going to fall for that anymore. I'm not falling for it, Charles.
Get us. You're not going to get us. You ain't going to boogans us, you son of a bitch.
We're not falling for that. So, there you go. That is 1974 in a nutshell. Woo. Good job. Thank you, Charles, for putting that together, putting the compilation and the list together. What do you guys think? When the video is over, jump back on YouTube, leave your comments, let us know what your favorites of 1974 were.
Stephen Burt tipped $20. Thank you for another great show. Have a good evening, everyone.
Whether it was on the list or not. If you don't put it on there, if you put it on there, then it gives us something more to watch as well. We're always looking for suggestions. We love your comments. And we'd love to find out from you what you liked. What else, Charles?
Todd Seeley said he needs to see the demonics. Yeah, you do, Todd. That's right up your alley.
I want to say thank you to Stephen Burt for the $20 donation. We appreciate it.
Oh, thank you, Stephen.
He says, really thank you for another great show. Have a good evening, everyone. You as well, Stephen.
You as well, Stephen. Thanks, everybody. We love doing this. This is fun. I love going through these years, and the 70s is really starting to heat up.
It is. 1974, I think, was a great job, or a great year for horror flicks. And I want to know from everybody else, like I've already said, please leave your comments when the video's over here on YouTube. And let us know what you think. Michelle S. also just donated $5. She says, thanks guys. Michelle. Love y'all. Thank you, Michelle. We love you, too.
We love you, too. Yeah, we love you guys. Let me go pull a movie out of my magic stash of Arrow video stuff we can give away.
Okay.
I should have done that already. I've got them around here somewhere.
We got
There's
time.
A whole bunch of them.
Everybody's got time, especially when you're giving something away. We'll wait.
I got nowhere to be. I got nowhere to
Thanks,
be.
guys. Love y'all.
JRE says another great year. Thank you. Thank you, JRE. Make sure you leave a comment when the video's over. Let us know if there's anything from 1974 that you like. David Dugas says this show makes my night every weekend. Thank you.
Oh, awesome.
Jeanette Nolan says yes. Thank you. Thank you, Jeanette. We love you. Travis Brown says Charles's Barney bag.
I've got a magic bag. I reached my hand in. All I do is I reach my hand in and I pulled out a copy of Elvira. So we're gonna go Elvira, Mistress of the Dark.
I gotta read this comment. Chrissy says, because of y'all, I've now seen every Brownie film ever made. Are you talking about Brownie Brownrigg? Is that who she's talking about, Charles?
Talking about dirty films.
Oh, man. Tommy West, thank you for your $9.99 donation, and we got a little
thank you.
Dancing critter that says thank you.
I can dance for you. I can dance for you. Boom.
You have to dance like this. This is what the critter's doing.
Oh.
Or more like this. I don't know.
I'm doing something,
but I like it. Thank you.
I'm gonna throw my back out. I'm old.
So much.
Oh. So yeah, I did pull my magic hand out and came out with a copy of Arrow Video's Elvira, Mistress of the Dark, 4K restoration.
Thank you, Arrow.
Thank you, Arrow.
What are we gonna do to give away this Blu-ray copy to some lucky
I think we should give this away to somebody. No.
I'm in. I like giving away stuff.
You're in like Flint?
Flynn.
That's all I got.
I'm in like Errol Flynn.
Errol Flynn? Pervert.
Errol Flynn.
I knew you would be.
See? Okay, Chrissy says yes, Brownrigg. Awesome.
Yeah.
I'm so glad.
I figured she's talking about Brownrigg, yeah.
Yeah, you need to see, you need to go check out his son's movies, too. Anthony Brownrigg. He has made a couple of movies, one that actually premiered at Frightmare Weekend years and years ago.
Word that. Very much word that. All right, so I'm going to give away this movie to somebody. I will give it away to the first person to tell me a movie that was on our 1971 list. How does that sound, Lloyd?
One movie from the 1971 list. If you can be the first one to comment on YouTube or Twitch, and as long as you're not somebody that wins constantly.
If you're one of like the last like 4 winners, I'm not going to give it to you. Sorry.
Yeah.
Let somebody new win.
Travis, we're talking to you. Michelle S. Said Texas Chainsaw Massacre. He said 1971.
71 list, yeah.
Yeah. James Watka said Freddy got fingered.
Nope.
Chrissy Gilliland, Abominable Dr. Fibes.
Yeah, that's one.
Boom. Chrissy.
Yep.
Chrissy hasn't won in a while, has she? Or has she?
No, Chrissy's been a while. I think it's been a while since Chrissy won.
Sweet. Jeanette Nolan said Vampire Lust.
She came after. I would have given it to her if she was first.
Mm-hmm. Yep, she
because
came after.
There was Lust for a Vampire. I would have given it to her because it's pretty close.
Yeah. That's okay, Michelle. Michelle said she heard, oops, I heard 4. So, yeah.
Yeah, no worries. Richard said Pootie Tang. That's a great movie, Richard. I love Pootie Tang.
Pootie Tang.
That's a hilarious movie, directed by Louis C.K.
Chrissy, congratulations. You just need to reach out to us. Message us.
So I won't know.
Yeah, message us through the Texas Frightmare Weekend page. Send us a PM, and we will make sure to get your address and all of that stuff and send it out to you. Good job, Charles, and thank you, Arrow, for taking care of us.
Now, what's coming up now? So, next month, Lloyd's going to be gone for a while. Maybe we could tell him that.
I will be out of town for a little bit, so I'm going to miss Saturday the 6th. Is that what it is?
5th.
Saturday the 5th. And let's see, I'm going to pull up the calendar. Saturday the 5th, I will be out, and Wednesday the 9th, I will not be available.
So we probably won't have shows that week, guys. So that'll be a break time.
A little bit of a break time. Maybe we'll play one of our early episodes on that day.
I think I'll probably come on and play some Twitch games because I get bored.
There you go.
Without my Lloyd here. Without my Lloyd here. So what are we doing upcoming?
Well, that's the problem. I have not been able to secure a guest yet. I've been working around the clock to get a guest for this Saturday, but I do not have one confirmed yet. I do have a couple of different possibilities, so we'll see within the next day or two who we get nailed down for Saturday. If we don't get a celebrity nailed down, we'll just bring Charles on and I'll ask Charles questions.
Heck yeah. Ask me all kinds of questions. I'll come on and talk about weird movies that are not horror related. So
right.
Yeah. So Saturday night, are we doing a movie Saturday night?
This Saturday?
Yeah.
Yes, we are. I've already forgotten again who it is. I'm sure they'll tell me here in just a minute. And I think they've already picked the movie. Oh, it's Killer Clowns.
Oh, yeah, Killer Clowns.
And I'm trying to remember who it was.
I will have to tell everybody that August 29th, we will not be doing a Twitch movie.
There it is. It's Stephen Burt.
Yeah, Burt's coming in. I knew it was Steven. I thought it was Steven, and I was like, wait.
Yeah, it just slipped my mind. I can't keep up.
I have the list here. I have Steven's name. It's kind of mixed with some other stuff now.
Okay.
I guess we could tell everybody August 29th how we're going to do that. Because that's confirmed now.
You want to announce that now?
Yeah. So, August 29th, we're not going to be doing a Twitch screening. Now, we are doing a limited screening, a live screening of The Thing in person at Cinemark and Grapevine. But we are super limited to the number of people that can come. It will be free, but we're going to offer it to our Patreons first. So our current Patreons are going to be offered the ability to come first. And that is 100% confirmed. I have already confirmed it with Cinemark, and I've already locked it down and signed their contract. So we are showing 1982 is the thing at 7 p.m. at the Cinemark in Grapevine.
Damn, that's exciting.
Yeah. So this will be a live screening. Loyd and I will both be there. And I'm going to offer it to Patreons first. Now, we're limited to like less than 20 people because of the rules right now. So there's not a lot to give away. But we're going to offer to our Patreons. Like I said, if there's any more, I'll open it up to maybe down the list. Maybe if we have Twitch subscribers who aren't Patreons, we'll kind of work down our list. We'll work out a way to get it filled up. But
awesome.
If you guys are, and I think I've already put this on our Patreon Discord, but if you are a current Patreon, let me know on the Discord, if you're on it, if you want to come. The movie ticket will be free. Not only will the movie ticket be free, but I worked with Cinemark, and you will also get a free small drink and a free small popcorn, too.
What?
Yeah. So.
No way.
And that's because I love you guys, and that's all covered. So. Let me know.
We have. This is how I'm seeing this. We do have Patreon patrons, so we're going to offer it to them first.
Yes.
If you become a Patreon right now, and there is still room left of people that cannot join us, then we'll take Patreons first, right?
Yes.
So now there's a limited amount of seats, so it depends on how many Patreons sign up. So you can go to our website, frightmarehq.com. There's a link to our Patreon page if you want to join. You can go ahead and do that. Go ahead and join up, and we'll see how it works out. See how many people are able to come. We're going to take the current Patreons first. If they give up a spot, then we'll take the next Patreon. Right?
Yeah. Yep. So, yeah. So, let me know, guys, as soon as possible, because I want to get this locked down. I want to give everybody details, and we've already got this covered for about 20 people total. So I want to make sure we get everybody in there. So, if you're interested, let me know that we can get this all done.
I want to say hello to Demented Pictures that just joined us. Hello. Thank you for joining us. Hendershot 555 joined us a little bit ago, but I haven't been able to say hi to that Twitch viewer yet. So thanks for joining us.
Yeah, thanks for joining us.
Richard wants to know, where is the Patreon Discord? If you're a member, you can just go to your Patreon, and there should be a link to set it up and get it on Discord. And if you have any trouble, just let us know.
Yeah. If you're not on the Discord and it's not something you want to do, and not everybody wants to do the Discord, your current Patreon, just send a message over, and Loyd and I will see it.
Yeah, we'll try to
double check.
We'll try to figure it out, but you should be able to join right from your Patreon account. You should be able to get your Discord.
Your Patreon.
Yeah. And we had fun there.
I want to say if you're a
Patreon,
mm-hmm. Yeah, we have fun there. So it's a lot of fun. If you're the Patreon though, and you want to join, please let me know ASAP, because I want to try to, give these to you guys first, but I want to know who can go, who doesn't want to go within the next couple of days, so I can offer them to other people.
Yeah. And yeah, we want to get this because this is coming up pretty soon, so we want to get these slots filled. We've got 11 days to get all the slots filled. We want to make sure that we have a full theater, which is based on availability. Of course, they're not going to be able to fill up the theater right now, but this is fun. This is going to be a blast. We'll all get to actually watch a movie in the flesh with each other. Yep. And got to thank Charles coming up with that idea and putting it together. Let's play a celebration video
whoop, whoop.
of you and I celebrating. What do you say?
Yeah, let's do it.
If it'll let me. I played it earlier.
Well,
now it's not letting me.
Yeah, I was excited to get this locked down for you guys. For us being able to show a live movie together. I want to make sure we get everybody there. And
it's playing now, Charles.
Yeah, get it.
It just decides to play when it wants to.
It randoms out.
Okay.
Argento fan, of course, he's in the UK and he can't make it, so that's a slot, an open slot right there. He said, please let my Patreon place to someone.
Yeah. Yeah. So like I said, I'm happy I was able to get this set up for you guys. It took a little bit of working with Cinemark, with everything going on. Basically, you can only fill a theater so much. Yeah, I think the theater, we're going to be like 20% capacity, and that's kind of what they wanted at. Yeah, when you enter the theater, you have to enter the theater itself with a mask on, but you can take the mask off when you sit down. And I was happy to be able to work with them and get you guys a free small drink and a free small popcorn included with your free ticket. So, real happy to do this just because we all love the movies. And getting a fun horror movie as well was not the easiest thing. I'll tell you guys right now. So I was real happy to get The Thing. 82 is The Thing, which is great to watch. The movies you can show are very limited depending on a lot of things, and they can get really expensive really, really quick.
Yeah.
So yeah, sounds good.
Well, that's awesome that we get to watch this one. The Thing is going to be really, really cool, and we'll have fun. So I think that's it. I think we don't have anything else to talk about yet, Charles. Well, at this point, I think we've talked about everything. I personally want to thank each and every one of you for joining us tonight. Again, don't forget, if you're watching us on YouTube, hit that like button. When we're off and we're done, please leave a comment. Let us know what your favorite 1974 film is. And that's all I got, Charles. What about you?
That's all I got for now. We'll let you guys know what's working out for this weekend, what we're going to do. But we'll do something regardless. So.
Yep.
And I think we're going to start doing some Twitch games, me and Loyd too, here soon. We got that figured out.
Yeah,
so
we've got it.
Could be coming soon.
Pretty well figured out. We might go live one night just to test and see what's going on.
Yeah.
And we won't be that serious. Not that we're going to be serious anyway, but... All right, guys.
We're never serious.
Yeah.
All right, guys.
Thank y'all very much for watching tonight. We enjoyed spending time with you. My name is Loyd Cryer, and I'm here today with...
It is Charles Doze. All right.
And thank you for watching Frightmare HQ. Peace.
Yeah, thanks, everybody.